Arizona hosted their Women in Blue Day on March 8th, International Women's Day, at the state capitol. Over 100 women participated. Members sat in the House gallery and were recognized from the floor. When they were, all the members chanted, "Ratify the ERA." They then assembled in the old Senate room in the Capitol for a panel discussion on the progress of the ERA, the Me Too movement, reproductive justice, and bills all affecting women. Connecticut's second annual Women in Blue Day was held on March 28th at the state capitol. The theme was, "Get the scoop with a scoop of ice cream." Having an ice cream social brought the legislators and staff running to meet with all the members. There were about 90 people who stopped by to talk, including about 25 legislators, the lieutenant governor, and the secretary of the state. The priority bills discussed were to help protect costs of family health care, the support of wage increases, gun control, and sexual assault and harassment protections. The District of Columbia Women in Blue Day was held on May 9th at City Hall with 25 members in attendance. The theme was "Follow the Money." All met with the City Council members and discussed core legislative issues pending before the Council and the budget priorities directed towards women, children, and families. Elected officials in attendance were from the committees dealing with finance, government operations, economic development, housing revitalization, education, judiciary, public safety, labor, transportation, environment, and human services. The Georgia Federation of Democratic Women in Blue Day was held on February 6th at the Georgia State Capitol in Atlanta. Their major activity was attending a legislative session and lobbying. The whole state legislature was in attendance. They were hosted by Senator Emanuel Expansion, and the members were very glad to be able to voice their concerns about Medicaid. Florida held their annual Tally Days from February 4th to the 7th, and about 175 members were in attendance. There was a full day of intensive lecture on bills about issues of choice, fracking, child marriage, unions, educational funding, tax structure, decriminalization of marijuana, voter suppression, and guns on campuses. Members also attended a fundraiser reception for their political committee with the Democratic candidates. They also held in the Capitol Rotunda a press conference for the ratification of the ERA. Idaho held their Women in Blue Day at the state capitol on January 18th. The outgoing president, Barbara Harris, arranged the event. The new president, Jeannie Ballou, and other members came with a few new women joining them. They met on the Capitol steps before attending sessions in both the House and Senate, where they were announced and warmly welcomed by Senators Sherry Buckner Webb, Elaine Smith, and Michelle Stennett, and Representatives Sally Toon and Elena Rubel. After the session, they were treated for lunch in the Capitol cafeteria by Representative Toon. Kentucky had a full day with 20 women from across the state attending. The day began with their annual She Persisted breakfast in honor of Senator Elizabeth Warren standing up to the Kentucky Senator McConnell. For sure, Kentucky members are always continuing to persist. Members traveled to the Capitol building to meet with legislators, including Representative Sandy Overly, Secretary of State Allison Grimes, and Representative Angie Hatton. The Louisiana Federation of Democratic Women held a historic day at the Louisiana State Capitol as they hosted the inaugural Women in Blue Day. Susanna French presented their official charter. Lunch was held with legislators, and it was held in the governor's press room. Legislative engagement activities included presentations of House and Senate resolutions recognizing the chartering of the Louisiana Federation of Democratic Women. This was an exciting day with everyone dressed in cobalt blue. The Michigan Democratic Women Caucus, Michigan Federation of Democratic Women in Blue Day, was held on April 15th at the Conference Center in Detroit. Over 100 women attended, including legislators and candidates running for office. The day's agenda included issues on pay equity, workplace sexual harassment, domestic violence, and women's health care. All the women left fired up and ready to go. The New Jersey 4th Annual Women in Blue, Women Voting Blue Day was held on March 15th at the New Jersey State House, with 50 women attending. Local representatives and club officers encouraged attendees to run for office and work with all prospective candidates, not just those already in office. They were encouraged to serve as advocates for gun control, criminal justice reform, and issues relating to women, families, and children. It is always energizing to be surrounded by women who view the political system through the same lens and who are dedicated to making it better. New Mexico held their Women in Blue legislative field trip on January 31st at their state capital in Santa Fe County. 105 women, all in blue, sat in the gallery and were able to observe Senate business. Their state and county presidents sat as guests of Senators Linda Lopez, Liz Stefanik, and Michael Padilla on the floor of the Senate chamber. At the luncheon program, 2 outstanding legislators were given the President's Award of Excellence. They were Senator Mary Kay Papen and Representative Patricia Lundstrom. Then the afternoon was spent lobbying. The New York Women in Blue Day was held on April 25th. 5 members visited the New York State Assembly. They were welcomed by Assemblywoman Donna Lupardo, and they were introduced onto the assembly floor. After their time at the State Assembly, they went to the New York State Museum to see a marvelous display about the women's suffrage movement in New York. The Pennsylvania Federation of Democratic Women held their Women in Blue Day at the Capitol in Harrisburg. They had a tour of the Capitol and a luncheon sponsored by 3 of their outstanding state representatives. They visited the governor's reception room and then went to visit Lieutenant Governor Mike Stack's office, where they were presented with an official honorary citation, and members gave him a copy of the Pennsylvania Federation of Democratic Women's first survey published to go into the Capitol archives. Tennessee combined their Women in Blue Day with their 61st annual convention held on April 20th in Jackson, Tennessee. Ladies from across the state were asked to wear blue on the night of the banquet. Tennessee Federation of Democratic Women made history at the convention. Each Grand Division, Middle, East, and West Tennessee, had a Democratic Women's Club chartered into the Federation. Membership is up 202%. The Federation is having voter registration drives 3 times a year. They are turning this state blue and working for the betterment of the Democratic Party, 1 vote at a time. West Virginia Women in Blue Day was held on February 20th at the state capitol and at the Carpenters Union Hall. The theme was Rise Up. They were welcomed at the Governor's Conference Room by State Treasurer John Perdue, senators and delegates, and Belinda Biafor, chair of the State Democratic Executive Committee. The Federation received a proclamation from Representative Tim Miley. After lunch, a training session was held. State senators, representatives from the House of Delegates, West Virginia Executive Committee members, family members, and additional guests were all in attendance.